Hey guys, how you doing? So we're going to be putting towing mirrors on my 2016 GMC Sierra. So we're going to be going from this to this. So these are the mirrors right here. This is the back of it. They have the running lights on the back. They do make this same version with the switchback lighting up here that will flash from inboard to outboard when your turn signal's on. And here's the front of the mirror. You do have cargo lighting right here that shines back to your bed. These are heated, they're power, and they're power folding also. So let's take a look at the construction the best we can. This is all metal on the inside. You got 4 mounting holes. It's got the seal. It's going to keep the weather out, and got the harness. So let's go ahead and get started. First step, let's get this door panel off. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to want to do is use a little screwdriver. In this case it's just a little pry bar. We're going to reach down in here, pop up the little cover there, and then this little cover right here. And actually there is no screw. There should be a screw right there. There should be a couple screws down in here. And if you get this little piece right here, let me get the camera set up. You got these little clips right here, so you're going to pull out on the bottom, and then these little hooks hook up underneath it. Dig these out of here. Don't lose these little pieces right here. Now, also note that I've rolled the window down. It's going to be a little easier to have the window rolled down. There's a screw right in here that you're going to take out. Should be a screw here, but it's missing on this foot. Obviously this door panel has been removed before, and there's a couple 7mm down here. And I'll typically start in a corner. Once you get a corner popped loose, then the whole thing will come up like this. You've got your latch right here. You're going to push down on this button, pull it aft, and come up like that. This connector, which should be affixed to the door panel here, this little latch right here, you're going to make sure it's pushed down, and then you're done. This little panel right here, pop that little retainer, and all I'm going to do is just kind of twist it and shove it right there. The latch right here, got a little lock right there, and then we're going to have these three 10mm, and then the mirror is going to pop right out of here. Now I'm going to cut the tape that's holding this harness to this little retainer. because we are going to reuse these. Okay, so once you get your harness cut away from these retainers, we're just going to take, first we're going to take the bottom ones off. Take the top one off last. I'm going to put my hand right here just to make sure that when I take that nut off, the mirror is not going to break loose. Okay. There's the old mirror. If this hole here is not already drilled on yours, you can drill that out. The original mirror is only held on with these 3 fasteners. The aftermarket mirror, the towing mirror, actually has a 4th one, and it's this one. So if this one's not drilled out, take like a 3/8 drill bit, 5/16 to 3/8, and drill that out. You're going to need to put these studs in. They're 12 millimeter. Take you one of the factory nuts, have it handy. I'm going to set it right here on my dash. Once you get that top one started, it'll hold the mirror in place. It does come with nuts, but the new nuts are not these large area style. Here's one of the new ones. I'm not going to worry about putting a washer behind it. I think that's going to hold it just fine. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. You can take the speaker out, which is just one fastener. Then it clips in on the bottom. Once we get this plug pulled through from the door jamb, you can pull this whole harness down and you can kind of have room to work on it down here. And I think that's what I'm going to do, just to show you the neatest method to be able to do this. Seven millimeter. And I am going to disconnect this. Now to get this connector, show you how easy it is. Just take some kind of a flat tool. A butter knife would probably work perfect. You're going to come in here on the top and you're just going to push down and then kind of push this way. And hopefully you can kind of see this little latch right there. That's all you're doing. Now for the connector, take that little purple piece of plastic, push it down, that undoes the connector. Now that we got that, we're going to push this grommet in. Now we can pull this whole harness right here. And it'll be a lot easier and neater to work on it. You'll see a zip tie right there. Go ahead and cut it. Now, if your truck already has towing mirrors and you're putting these on, like this right here. In this case, this truck did not have towing mirrors, so we got to do a little bit of wiring. It's not difficult. I'll show you how to do it. And that's going to give us our running lights and cargo lights. Just to give you an idea of what we're wiring. Blue to 11, white to 9. The red is for the turn signals. This truck already had the turn signals in the mirrors, so it's already wired on this truck. I think it's this gray one, that second one over, I think. I'd have to look at the diagram again, but if your truck does not have the turn signals in the mirrors, then you're going to need to run the red wire. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ground. So you've already got a ground in this red wire right here. I'm going to take and I'm going to splice these together, and all I'm going to run is the blue and the white through here into the harness. And it'll all make sense here in a little bit. We're going to need a crimp kit. I'll also put a link to a harness. I'll put a link to this crimp kit that's got the dies that's needed for the crimping the terminals on here, but I'll also put a link to the harness. This harness here that's already got terminals crimped on the ends, in case you don't want to deal with crimping the wires. Now what you are going to need to do is poke a hole through this. Easiest way to do that's just with an awl. Now you can use a piece of wire. I've got a little fish here that I'm going to just stick in here. And what that's going to do is that's going to help me pull these wires through. And what's nice about doing it this way is you can make it look nice and professional. All right. Now, if you want to crimp your own, I'll put a link to these. These are the pins that you need for this connector right here. If not, just get the harness that I linked to. What I like to do is go ahead and, you guys are seeing this, is go ahead and just close this lever. That way you can get right to the pins that you need to. Cut these just a little bit long, that way we'll have a little extra to play with just in case. These are the dies required. That's the way the crimp should look. What I like to do is load the terminal in here, kind of get it set and ready. You only need about 1/8 of an inch of wire stripped. And there it is. And where'd the paper go? I'll put up on the screen a close-up of this connector and what pins are what. Blue into 11. Okay, before you're able to pin these, you've got to unlock it. This little slot right there, push on it, and it pushes this side out, and it unlocks the connector. The flat side goes toward this direction. And you should be able to push it down there all the way. If not, just take you a little screwdriver, push it the rest of the way in, turn it over, make sure that you're able to see the terminal. And if you can, then you're there. Now the white goes into 9. And then once they're in, push that to lock them back in. I'm going to go ahead and put the zip tie back on. And now we're done. This can be the toughest part of the whole deal. Make sure this lever is down. Make sure you got enough slack to where that's not going to be a nuisance. Once you kind of get it in the socket, push it in, and whenever you start pulling up on this lever, it will pull the connector in. Now, to secure this, you've got a little hook on the bottom. It's got a little recess it goes into, and then it just snaps in. Now at this point, all you got to do is push this grommet in, make sure it's all secure. And splice these two wires, the orange and red and black and white, to the orange and red and black and white here. Alright guys, so all you got to do here, so a lot of people will run this ground like down to this nut or ground it somewhere. This black wire in the factory plug, well, this isn't the factory side, this is the aftermarket mirror side, but the factory side of the plug has a ground, and that's what I use. Now this is for your turn signal, and like I say, if your mirrors had the turn signals already, then you've got your factory plug is wired for turn signals. So I'm going to splice these wires together. Take some heat shrink. This is an environmental splice, so it'll be able to get wet and still be good. Make sure you got your heat shrink on there. Okay, red and orange to red and orange, and then black and white to black and white. Don't get those swapped around. Kind of figure out how you want to route all this. And I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to put a couple pieces of tape right here. All right. Now it's just a matter of going back together with everything. let me show you the way this trim goes. This trim, you see a lip right here? You got to get that lip up underneath the frame. And then after you do that, you can come back, run a screwdriver, and pull the seal out of it. All right, before you put your door panel back on, if the seal came off with your door, pull it off along with these clips. We're going to take these clips, stick them right here. Then we're going to take the seal, figure out how it goes. And push your seal back down where it belongs. All right, I'm going to try to get you to where you can see this. You're going to take your cable, stick it in like that, and then it locks right in. Once the connector goes on enough, you'll be able to push the lever down. And once everything is kind of in place, everything should. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back in, get the window rolled up, pull the saran wrap off of the new mirror, and then I'll show you how this thing works and looks. Okay guys, and here's the mirrors from the driver's seat. Nice upgrade. They are adjustable. The upper mirror is adjustable. The bottom mirror is manually adjustable, so once you get it set to where you want it, it stays put. It's probably not really dark enough to show you the what they call the running lights. On this version, these do not flash with the turn signal. The switchback version does. They flash in sequence. Also, let me show you we're going to take a look at this whenever it gets a little bit darker, but it's got the what they call the cargo light LEDs, and what that's good for is not only whenever you're loading cargo at night, but whenever you're backing up, you can hit your cargo button and that will illuminate the area around you. Oh, I guess you might want to see the mirrors fold in. All in all, I think it's a really nice upgrade. Anyway, Sanooer trailer mirrors. Very nice. You guys take care. We'll see you. All right, guys. I don't know if this is going to come through on the camera, but this is the cargo light on the mirrors. This is out the driver's side. So you can see how much it actually lights up. Let's go ahead and get out here. It's not fully dark yet. Now let me turn them off. So you can see how that would light up the area. Now, something else that you can do is when you're backing up, you can turn your cargo lights on and you can have a lot better view of things that's around you. So that's a nice little feature. As far as the running lights, let's take a look at that. Of course, you got your turn signals. And there's the running light part of it. And the one thing that I did not demonstrate is that they are extendable. So if you need them to stick out even more, they will. You guys take care.